Hi, my name is Dr. Caxton Perry, and I have a new book coming out called Female Sexual Arousal and the Pink Pill. The reason for the book, number one, there's not much information, there's a lot of protesting, and no objective protests that show us exactly why we shouldn't prescribe this pill or why patients shouldn't take the pill. They just mention side effects, and there are lots of side effects, dangerous side effects. But my point here is there are 5 things that I mentioned in the book, 5 major things, reasons that are quite obvious that I want to share with you on this video, showing why the FDA should not have fallen asleep. It seems like they fell asleep when it came to the approval of this drug. I'm going to show you. Number 1, this nice looking pill called Flibanserin Addyi, the pink pill, pink, the new female Viagra, why it should not have been approved, at least not at this early stage, based on the side effects, based on the complex nature of female sexual arousal compared to male sexual arousal, and without proper investigation of the side effects and what can be done, whether you need to take half a gallon of water before you even take the pill. No one has mentioned anything with respect to the clinical trials. Now, I want to show you some tables from the BRUDAC, which points to the fact that either, number 1, the FDA fell asleep, number 2, someone at Sprout did something, didn't do something but just fell asleep, number 3, Valiant, that bought the company, that bought the drug from Sprout, fell asleep. You decide. First, I want to show you this. There's a table, and the components that each of these tables measure and they put in the FDA documents that we have in our hands. Desire, number 1. Distress, number 2. And number 3, actual sexual events that occur in a 28-day period. Okay? My focus for now to point out to you the strange phenomenon is that there's an increase in desire when you take the drug, slightly more than that of placebo. But the way the numbers are put on the chart, on the table, it looks like they are duplicating the numbers. So I am going to show you the numbers at baseline for desire and at 24 weeks when the study was completed. I'm also going to show you the numbers for distress at baseline and at 24 weeks. 2 things. Now, the studies that were used were 3 studies. These were called the pivotal studies. Based on these studies, Sprout and then Valiant staked their claim that this is a fantastic drug for female sexual arousal. Let's look at this table. This first table that I'm going to draw for you is going to show you what happens at baseline. I'm going to use base for baseline. And then at 24 weeks. Okay? First, we're going to look at study 511.71. In that study, just like for the other 2 pivotal studies, 511.71, 511.75, 511.147. In all those 3 studies, they used Flibanserin 100 milligrams and placebo. So this is study 71. We're going to call 511 for all of them, but this is study 71, this is study 75, and study 147. Flibanserin 100, placebo, Flibanserin 100, and placebo. Never mind that part. So what I want to show you is, this is the desire part of the study. Desire. Okay? When you take a drug like Flibanserin, it's supposed to increase desire. So we will expect that going from baseline, right, to 24 weeks, there will be an increase. So and this is exactly what they found. Okay, at baseline, the desire in the flibanserin group was 1.9 on a score, the FSFI desire score. Okay, so we have 1.8, 1.8 in study 75. Never mind, I'll write it. And then 1.9 desire score and 1.9 desire score in basically 147 and 71. Now at 24 weeks, there's a change. There should be an improvement, and there was an improvement. At 24 weeks in the study 511.71, 511.75, and 511.147. These are the numbers. 2.8. I want you to watch closely. Okay? In the placebo group in study 71, it increased to 2.4. In the Flibanserin Addyi group in study 75, it was what? 2.7, an increase, and then 2.4, an increase in the placebo group. Now, in study 147, you got 2.9 in the Flibanserin 100 milligrams at night group and 2.6, an increase, obviously. So I'm going to draw a line here so that you can come back and compare if you'd like to. So we're going to look at the second thing that I want to point out. 3 things were measured: sexual events, desire, and distress. Okay? Sexual desire, sexual events, and interest. Distress. So we now have distress. I'm going to put distress here. Never mind again. Just see that where that line is, when you cross that line over, it is now for distress. In the same group, flibanserin, placebo, flibanserin, placebo, flibanserin, and placebo. Okay. What I want you to look at closely is that at baseline, we're going to put the baseline for the distress at the bottom. Even though we did this at the top, we're going to put this at the bottom. And we're going to put at 24 weeks, what happens to the distress. Remember, this is distress. This is desire. Again, the bottom part is distress. So the flibanserin 100, placebo, 100, placebo, 100. And this is also again study 71, study 75, study 147. Okay? So what do we have? At baseline, we have 3.2. A distress score of 3.2 for the woman. 3.2 for the woman in the placebo group. So both groups in study 71 had a distress score of 3.2. In the study 75 group, the woman, the flibanserin group had 3.3, the placebo 3.2. In the study 147, 511.147, they had 3.4 and 3.4. So distress levels were 3.2, 3.3, 3.2, 3.4, 3.5. You expect a what? A decrease. Okay? A decrease. And if you say the pink pill works, what that should mean is that the pink pill should decrease distress far more than placebo, the sugar pill. Is that? Yes, that should be the way it is. The pink pill, flibanserin, should reduce distress in these patients, but the distress should be reduced far more than the placebo sugar pill. So here's the thing, and here's where you begin to ask questions. At week 24, the flibanserin group, their distress scores are dropped to 2.8. The sugar pill, the placebo group, their distress score are dropped to 2.4. Now when you look at this, you can see that they have the same distress scores, right? But at the end of 24 weeks, the distress score are dropped far more in the placebo group than in the pink pill flibanserin group. What does that mean? That means in study 71, placebo was more effective in reducing distress than flibanserin. Now let's look at the next study. In study 75, the distress scores at 24 weeks was now 2.7. The distress scores in the placebo group now 2.4. Wow. So it means that the placebo has reduced distress far more than flibanserin. What about 147? Again here it had dropped from 3.4 to 2.9 and from 3.4, this is 3.4, I'm sorry, 3.4 to what? To 2.6. So if you look at all the numbers for the placebo, circled here, they are smaller than the numbers for the flibanserin, which means that the placebo reduced far more than the flibanserin group the distress score. But look carefully. These numbers at 24 weeks for desire are identical. 2.8, 2.8, 2.4, 2.4, 2.7, 2.7, 2.4, 2.4, 2.9, 2.9, 2.6, 2.6. Guys, that is one chance in over 1 billion or 1 trillion of occurring. I'm going to stop there for now. Have a wonderful day.